many shrimp. I got iodine poisoning. A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine poisoning.
My bitch a choosing lover, never fuck without a rubber. Never in the sheets like it on top of the cover. Money on the dresser, drive a compressor. Top notch hoes, get the most, not the lesser. Trash like the buck for $40 in the club.
My bad, everybody. I don't know why my Streamlabs wanted to go live stream tomorrow's discussion and not what I just made. So I apologize for that. This is the right stream. Hello. I was actually not planning on doing this. I really wasn't. I was planning on playing some Fallout 4. I still plan on playing streaming some Fallout 4 later on tonight. So if you're into that, you can check out my other channel. But what's his face? Mopey. Damn it, I forgot. Ryan, the guy who gives me a lot of sex in the live stream chats. He was talking about Ragical's latest video, which I hadn't seen yet, and he was talking about how heated he was getting. I lasted maybe a minute of looking at Ragical's video until I was getting really pissed off. So it's gonna be one of those streams. What's up, John? What's up, everybody? Keeping it cool, Nada, Wazoo, Nyan, Joseph, and Sieto. Joseph, Internet God, Keith, Mark, Richard, how you guys doing? So guys, I have Ragical's video in the description as well as the original video that we're going to take a look at. This is Gavin Seim. Gavin Seim. If you guys don't know, he is a Sov Sit who fled to Mexico like a couple years back. And apparently, he got the bright idea to run down a Mexican checkpoint. And apparently gets into an argument with the police. And it's more than just that. It's how he treats the officers that really gets my blood boiling. So we're gonna get right to it. Like I said, check out Ragical. He is a link to his videos in the description. So shout out to him for the find. And let's deal with this.
So until today, I've never actually really been stopped at a checkpoint. I've seen a DUI checkpoint, for example, and stopped and kind of told the guy, hey, you shouldn't be here. I've driven by like the military checkpoints. Checkpoints, just like in the USA, are used. Less in Mexico than in the past because people don't like them. And the Constitution is more respected here, though not entirely. Much like the United States Constitution does, the Mexican Constitution forbids impeding people in their travel and molesting them on the road and searching through their stuff without a warrant. All those basic, fundamental human rights. Well, today, we're out for a little cruise, me and Sandra, and I come across this like drug, stolen car, guns checkpoint run by the state police, and these guys are thugs. So here's that encounter and what happened.
So they're like, stop, stop, stop. He honks the horn, and then now he's shocked that they draw their guns. This is out of Doug's stash. Tonight's drink is out of Doug's stash. It is the Bach Street Boys, a German Bach style lager. Not bad, actually. It's actually pretty good.
You threatening me with armas? ¿Qué es tu problema?
Oh God. You know, I don't know much Spanish, but I feel like even I have better pronunciation than that. I understand more than I can speak, but I swear to God, I can pronounce better than that, but that was just fucking awful.
He put the guarda su arma. Eso es ridiculoso.
I like how okay, I'm gonna say I like how on an official patch, that's the Mexican eagle and snake with the Punisher badge.
English?
English? Okay. So right around here is actually where I had to stop because I was getting furious right when his wife was saying it like that. This, okay, let me see if you guys can see it behind my head. This is where they're at. Huichapan? I don't know how to pronounce it. In Hidalgo, Mexico, which is, about an hour, I don't know, a little ways off from Mexico City. They're in the heart of Mexico. What business does she say to be demanding that the officers speak English? Like, even if this was a border town, right? I'd still be pissed off at her fucking condescending tone because, again, even if you're at the border, I don't expect the cops to know English at anybody's beck and call. But at least there's a higher likelihood that a border patrol officer in Mexico might know some English. They're in the fucking middle of Mexico, and then she makes that kind of condescending demand. That's what got me pissed off.
One moment, please.
You speak English? What is the problem here?
A ver.
You don't stop me in the road.
Speak Spanish?
Very little.
Ok, perfecto. Lo estamos haciendo un filtro para verificar que no traigan armas o drogas. Nada más checamos que no traigan armas y drogas y se van. Ningún problema.
That's not.
It's a checkpoint for drugs and weapons.
Not English.
Okay.
Oh my fuck.
No, no comprendo.
Ok, que
You're not the army.
que no traigan armas. Que no traigan armas.
You're not carrying weapons. I think that's what he's saying.
You know what?
Drogas.
You don't get to question people on the highway.
You're not carrying or I think what he's saying, you're not carrying or transporting weapons or drugs. He asked it,
That's illegal. The Constitution of Mexico says we have a right to travel, okay? You
I cannot believe he's trying to pull this shit in Mexico.
don't stop people on the road. It's totally illegal.
Nada más vamos a checar.
No checar. Esta
Ok,
es
a
mi
ver.
propiedad.
Ok, permítame. Tu vehículo está en una vía pública. ¿Ok?
No, mi vehículo is.
Tu vehículo está en una vía pública.
Your vehicle is on a public road.
¿Ok?
No, mi vehículo is mi propiedad privada.
Ok.
Sí.
A ver. Te voy a ver nada más de orillas, te termino de explicar la situación y seguimos. Te puedes.
Okay, you're gonna need to get somebody to speak English since this seems to be a legal matter.
Aquí no hablamos muy bien.
Okay, then you need to let me pass and stop molesting
Nada
me.
más vamos a checar.
No, you're not checking anything.
Verificamos que trae.
No.
A ver, traes
There's
armas.
nothing to verify. I've not broken any law. You're the ones with armas. This man threatened me right here. Where's the guy that threatened me when I came up? Okay, you guys.
Okay.
I'm trying to pass, and he almost pulled a gun on me,
Oye,
which
tú-
is absolutely
igual
unacceptable.
Queremos checar por qué el motivo de tu placa.
No.
¿Te infraccionaron o tuviste algún incidente? Es por
Who
eso
are you
igual
with?
que estamos checando.
Who are you with? Are you with the cartel?
¿Mande?
Are you with the cartel?
Oh my fucking god.
Oye, tú puedes hablar español más o menos. Que estés ahorita usándolo de cierta manera, tu idioma es muy diferente. Sale porque tú me entiendes bien lo que
You
yo
guys
estoy
speak English?
Me entiendo.
Okay, well, you either get somebody to speak English or I need to pass. One of the two.
My fucking god. This is ugly American. This is like stereotypical, not just sovereign citizen, but ugly American type of fucking behavior. This is the embarrassment that we're dealing with.
A ver,
Dos opciones.
a ver, dame tus dos opciones. Ahorita vamos a hablarle a un intérprete que hable bien inglés para
No,
que te explique
I'm not
la
waiting.
situación.
He's asking, can you wait until we get a translator?
Yeah.
And now he's saying no. I thought that's what you asked for in the first place.
¿Sale, caballero?
Stop your car.
Es 2011, tú me...
No, no, it's no, not car. Sale caballero is Caballero is gentleman. Or sir.
vehículo? Es un Seat León 2011.
I'm not answering your questions. I've committed no.
¿Tu vehículo? Es un Seat León 2011.
Jane Spade. When America sends its people, it's not sending its best. That's what I thought it was, Pope. I see what you did there, Jane.
I'm not answering your questions. I've committed no crime.
Igual estamos checando que los vehículos no cuenten con reporte.
La placa is in the rear if you want to check the vehicle.
¿Sí es 2011 tu vehículo?
You speak English?
Como no traes tu placa delantera, igual por eso estábamos checando.
This is ridiculous.
¿Qué incidente pasó?
Oh my fucking...
Tranquilízate, amigo.
No, you need to be...
Did you just fucking honk the horn to make sure that to get them out of the way? Does this...
tranquilo. You threatened me con armas.
Tranquilízate, no pasa nada. Tranquilízate, no te va a pasar.
Sir,
no
señor,
te va a pasar nada.
señor, esta es la Publico Road, okay? Esta es mi vehículo privado.
Okay, se te
Mi
entiende.
derecha
Sí.
is to pass.
Sí.
Your men are criminals threatening me with guns.
A ver, aquí tú no...
Okay?
A ver, nada más te
And I
explico.
just want to pass peacefully
A ver,
and be
nada más
left
te
alone.
explico un poco de mi trabajo.
No toco mi carro,
A
por
ver.
favor.
Nada más te explico, no te va a pasar nada. Un poco...
What do you say?
Okay?
A ver, nada más te
And I
explico.
just want to pass
A
peacefully
ver,
and be
nada más
left
te
alone.
explico un poco de mi trabajo.
No
Something like, let me try to do a little bit of my job or something like that.
toco mi carro,
A
por
ver.
favor.
Nada más te explico, no te va a pasar nada. Ni
Okay,
se te
we're
va a
gonna
hacer
speak
nada.
English. La ley dice, habla en mi language. Okay?
Sí, te voy a comentar un poco igual.
No.
Estás en México. Entonces nada más de lo poco que me llegues a entender, te voy a comentar un
Okay,
poco de
it's time for
nuestro
us to go.
trabajo.
Sandra.
He said, like, you're in Mexico, and he's saying, let me try to do my job or something like that.
Just don't open it. Let him do his thing.
A ver, amigo. Hey,
These
amigo.
guys are.
Well, yeah, Spanish is the official language in Mexico.
What is the deal with Hidalgo
Oh,
allowing
no, a
these
ver.
kind of criminals?
A
Look
ver,
at these
amigo,
guys.
Tranquilos, no se molesten.
Tú tranquilo.
Calm down.
Tú tienes las
Sí.
armas.
A ver, sí, pero...
You always try.
Dude, you're calm down.
Tú tengo armas. Tú tengo un militar en la calle.
sí, pero a ver.
Tú es el problema aquí.
No, caballero.
Sí.
Te voy a decir por qué.
No, sir.
Te voy a decir por qué estamos haciendo
talk,
este
okay.
tipo de operativos.
Okay.
La
English.
delincuencia
Okay.
en la
I
zona
don't
está
speak
muy
good
pesada.
Spanish, so you need to speak English, okay?
Ok, nada más te explico. Pero si de
No,
poco
in
que me
English.
entiendes.
Okay.
Ok, aquí te vas a...
Buenas tardes. Mover, por favor.
No.
De esa manera en la que te estás comportando no es la adecuada.
You speak English?
They have to legally let us
Yeah.
get
A
a
ver, de la
translator.
manera en la que tú te estás comportando
They
no
have
es
to
la
legally get a
adecuada.
translator or let
Let
us
me-
Yeah, I know they can. What they want to do is search vehicles. See, they're searching people's cars illegally here. This is in Huichapan.
just outside of Wichita.
Yeah. And they're just searching people's vehicles illegally, which is a complete violation of the Constitution of Mexico. And legally, they're also required to get some.
Considering your lack of basic Spanish, how the fuck do you know what's in the Mexican Constitution?
Somebody if they
Nada más
want to
me
question us to
permites
speak our
checar
language.
tu serie que no cuente con reporte.
Okay. No entiendo. Habla inglés.
Vamos a usar un traductor tú y yo. ¿Perfecto? ¿Traes
No,
traductor
mi
en tu
pásale.
A ver, ¿traes traductor en tu teléfono? Amigo, estoy hablando. ¿Traes traductor en tu teléfono?
No, I'm not using a telephone when I'm being threatened in the road
Yo voy a
by
usar
matones.
mi traductor. Yo quiero que tú uses tu traductor. Ya vas a ver muchas fotos.
Seriously, I every honk. God damn it, it's getting me more heated.
Nada más permíteme checar tu vehículo.
No.
¿Ya te vas a retirar?
I don't know what you're asking. My Spanish is not that good.
¿Ya te vas a poder retirar?
You've been in Mexico for what, a year? How it's been like a year, 2 years since he fled to Mexico, right? Yet he still barely knows the language.
Nada más el único procedimiento era verificar tu serie que no cuente con reporte. ¿Por qué? Porque estamos checando series de vehículos.
I'm
que
not
no
following
tengan-
what you're
A
saying.
ver,
The vehicle's
yo
not
sé-
stolen if that's
yo
what
sé
you're
que tú me
asking.
estás
It's my
enten-
vehicle.
Yo sé que tú me estás entendiendo. Tal es el motivo que tú estás aquí de turista. Hablas, tú sí me entiendes. Que
Tú
estés
molestas a
acá,
los
que
turistas.
estés. Yo no soy
Criminals.
molestando al turista. Simplemente estoy haciendo mi trabajo como seguridad.
No,
¿Para
tu
qué?
trabajo es la Constitución.
¿Me entiendes?
You
Que
tú
estés
molestas a
acá,
los
que
turistas.
estés. Yo no soy
Criminals.
molestando al turista. Simplemente estoy haciendo mi trabajo como seguridad.
No,
¿Para
tu
qué?
trabajo es
He's asking, please let me try to do my job or something like that. I'm simply doing my job.
la Constitución, señor.
Sí.
Este es tu trabajo. Tu trabajo, todos son criminales. Tu trabajo no es molestar a la gente en la calle. No es tu trabajo. Tu trabajo es la protección de la gente y la Constitución en México.
Así es. Pero te voy a explicar. Te voy a explicar.
Artículo
La Constitución,
11.
pero
No,
voy a-
artículo 10. What's 11?
16.
11.
Bueno, tu carro no tiene nada.
Oh my fucking god.
Te vamos a dejar ir, te agradecemos
Es
mucho
todo
tu
el
cooperación.
procedimiento que nada más teníamos que checar.
I don't know exactly what you want. I'm not understanding what you're saying, but you're not searching anything. I'm not giving you any money. You're not robbing me. I'm not interested in cartels molesting.
Nadie te está pidiendo.
Ellos son criminals in Mexico.
Nadie te está pidiendo dinero.
Haz lo que tengas que hacer.
Nadie, simplemente checamos el vehículo que no contara.
Look at these thugs.
He says we're not demanding money or we're not asking you for money. We're simply trying to check the vehicle.
Look at this thug blocking my path
Amigo,
here
te
with his
estoy hablando.
armas.
Amigo, te estoy hablando. Ya.
Ayuda! You guys need to let me pass? Tú tranquilo. Tú molesta me y mi wife in the calle.
You don't even know esposa?
This is ridiculous. Son criminales. Por favor, move amigos. Guarda su arma, amiga.
Tranquilízate, ¿sale?
Yo es tranquilo, tú es no tranquilo. Ese es el problema. Tomar una foto de esta.
Nada más permítenos que nos contesten por el radio
No,
Comprendo.
el estado del vehículo.
no más. Es 15 minutos, 20 minutos. Esto es ridiculoso.
Policía, ¿sale?
No, policía.
Te tienes que esperar.
Policía es la ley. Tú no, esta no es la ley.
Demuestra el nivel de tu cultura.
He's the fact that he's still trying to actively run the checkpoint is fucking nuts. This is nuts. The fact that he even at this point he's trying to legitimately run the checkpoint is insane.
¿Sale? Intentas atropellar, vamos a tener que usar la fuerza, ¿sale?
No entiendo.
Tranquilízate.
Need English.
¿Sale?
Necesito
You have the
inglés.
numbers. You have the numbers from the car.
English.
I've waited a moment. I've been more than patient with you criminals.
English.
The fact that the wife is still whining about English is really getting on my nerves.
¿Sigues faltando al respeto?
No, tú faltano respeto.
Tú no estás faltando.
To act in law,
Estás
son
intentando
criminal.
Atropellar. Crimen. ¿Sale? Atropellar. Estás mal. ¿Sale?
Habla más.
Igual, habla más. Igual. Estoy grabando.
Sí, es okay. Mi respecta la ley. Tú no respectas la ley.
Yo respeto la ley.
La ley es la constitución.
This is straight up Yankee go home type of behavior happening now. It's really embarrassing. Like it's confirming all the fucking stereotypes in the officers' minds about American tourists.
Constitución, artículo 10 del párrafo 9
No.
al 10, faculta mi trabajo.
11 is
Artículo 11 is mi right to travel. No tocar mi derechos.
El artículo 11 no es eso.
Sí.
16.
16 también.
Pésame tu radio, güey, porque no trae piloto. Ya nada más falta la serie, carnal.
So them with the technology, it's what is it? I can barely. It's blurry as shit. I'm trying to read it. The vehicle does not have a theft report or.
No, that's completely illegal.
Or something illicit. Inspection point to verify if your vehicle does not have a theft report or bring something illicit.
No, that's completely illegal. You can't stop people in the road. First of all, you've already had plenty of time to verify that. Second of all, you cannot just stop people. No auto la gente en la calle con no suspicion.
Oh no, this is absolutely a checkpoint. Whether or not it's legal, I don't know. But I also don't presume to know Mexico's constitution, Mexico's case law, and what they say regarding checkpoints. I'm not making that presumption, and I'm not going to make a presumption that I know more than these guys as an ugly American who fled from the US a couple years ago and thinks he knows what he's talking about, even though he doesn't know a lick of Spanish, apparently.
We've been here like 20 minutes now, and we've got like 10 cops around us, and they claim it's some kind of checkpoint for checking for stolen vehicles. No, you've had plenty of time to check my serial number. Is there a law that says how long that they can hold you for at a stop?
Oh, I thought you knew all about the fucking Constitution.
I don't know.
Who
Good.
the fuck are you talking about?
I think what they're really doing is they want to search vehicles for guns and
Wait, he's been in Mexico for 3.5 years, and this is all he knows?
stuff, guns and other things. He said he's using Translate and trying to tell me that they just want to check the serial number to make sure the vehicle's not stolen. But it seems to me that I see him rifling through people's cars and stuff. Yeah, I know, and they've done that for the past 15, 20 minutes. But I can't really go because they're standing in front of me with guns. There's really nothing to do other than I wanted to let you know what's going on. I guess other than that, there's not much more to do. ¿Mande? Sí, necesito pasle. No, I don't. What am I waiting for? I don't understand what we're waiting for.
He's still trying to run it.
Nada, tercero. Cuarto, noveno. Noveno, cuarto.
These thugs. Yeah, get him on the phone.
Eso es una pareja, son dos extranjeros, al parecer.
Article 11 is the free travel clause of the Mexican Constitution.
Yeah, she's trying to be Miss. Look at her. Look at her with her hand on her gun, trying to threaten us. With her hand on her gun, all like a cartel member.
Maybe it's because of you constantly trying your best to run the checkpoint that has her having her hand on her holster. Maybe that's why. Well, shocker, Liz. So then Article 11 is just like our right to travel.
You guys have no right to hold me here. The Constitution is clear.
You got him?
No, I'm trying to get a hold of him.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shame on you guys.
See you later.
The law is our rights. The law is protected. Our rights are protected in the Constitution. And I don't want to see Mexico become like the USA when it comes to our rights. People need to stand up.
On my if you think in the current state that Mexico is in that the people there have more rights than in the US, you're on cocaine. Oh my god.
Checkpoints, police harassing us, searching our cars. These are crimes against the people. These are criminals. And there's a culture here where the cops are much more polite. They're much more calm, and that's good. But a polite criminal, guys, is still a criminal. And I think sometimes they look at me and it's like, who's the crazy gringo standing up to us and so loud, right? Because, well, we gringos kind of are loud. Well, you know what? I try to be polite. I try to be respectful of people.
Hey,
And
Road Pirate.
I respect the law. And I respect my fellow man.
You respect the law? Really?
I don't respect people for violating it and trampling our rights. To be honest, way less scary than dealing with any checkpoint in the USA. But the whole thing of them, I was just going to kind of pass on by and wave. And I've done that in the past, no big problem. The whole thing with them grabbing guns and stuff, totally not okay. They're acting like the cartel. They're acting like matones. The Constitution of Mexico allows and recognizes the right for guns. And they've placed some stupid restrictions on things, just like in the USA, but in your private property, they have no right to search or molest you for any of these things. So that's what happened. That's today's.
The answer is yes. This guy is trying to apply Sov Sit right to travel bullshit in Mexico.
Adventure in Mexico. All right, guys, make sure you like, subscribe, share, spread the message. I'm trying to share the message of how beautiful Mexico is, but also just show it for what it is.
All right. I really don't like to give this guy views, but I really want to hear what he has to say.
Learning a
As some asshole who's been in Mexico for a couple of years, that he decides he's not going to speak the native language.
Language is hard, and it's absolutely worth it. If you're going to live in another country, you owe it to the respect of yourself and to the people.
The fact that he has his own goddamn logo is already telling me he's a tool bag.
Of that country to do your best to learn the language.
Build this ship together, searching for a home, despite the storm that hit us.
Is he does he have fucking language?
Bueno, solo, ¿tienes hamburguesas solo carne de res? Sí. Sí, muy bien.
Okay, bueno. Perfecto, yo regreso. It's hard. You know, I remember when we first came into the country, like a year and a half ago, like a weekend. La gente.
So wait, so he actually does have a basic knowledge of Spanish? Wait, Chuck, I did see you there, man. I wasn't planning on having people jump up into the stream today. It was not gonna be that long. But what's up, man? Hope you're doing well. But so he sounds like he actually does know a little bit of basic Spanish, but he chooses to be an ugly American to cops for no other reason than to be a prick.
Yo hablo español. Yo soy un criminale. Yo soy un criminale. Which is saying that.
Okay, fuck off. All right, I regret giving him a like. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, come on. This just got uploaded. Jeremy DeWitt. Whoa, what the fuck? Oh shit! Fuck you, we already have fucking guns drawn. Well, he was getting out of his motorcycle, so.
Don't reach for that firearm.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Walk.
Well, if you guys recall, Jeremy DeWitt carries less lethal on his holster, and at the moment he stopped, he got off his bike. So, of course, the cop is going to have his guns drawn, because at this point, the cop doesn't know that it's less lethal.
Walk away from your bike. Keep your hands up. Keep your hands up. Go down to your knees. Do not reach for that firearm. Do not reach for that firearm. Go down to your knees. Go down to your stomach. Do not reach for that firearm. Go down to your
Yep, it's Florida.
stomach now. Do not reach for that firearm. Do not reach for that firearm. You hear me?
I hear you.
Go ahead and secure him. What? He got the firearm on his side. Put your hands on the bed.
Oh, Princess, I saw a bit of that this morning. The latest Real World Police Marathon.
You're being secure because you're openly carrying a firearm.
But I've never seen this. I've never seen the body cam footage of his arrest.
What?
You're openly carrying a firearm.
I'm carrying a pepper ball. You already know that.
I do not know that. That is a firearm. That is a firearm right now.
You know it's pepper ball.
It's a firearm. I do not know it's a pepper ball. That looks like a regular firearm.
You know it's a pepper ball, even just in case you know it told you in the email. He even told you in the email that it's a pepper ball.
Stay with him. You have anything on you? Roll on your side. All right, go ahead and stand up. You can stay at your bike.
Whoa. Leave my camera alone, bro.
Oh, he turned off his body cam.
Leave my camera alone.
No, you're not going to talk to me. Okay, I dictate this traffic stop, not you. You understand me?
What are you yanking my helmet
I'm
off?
trying to take your helmet off.
What are you yanking my helmet
I'm
off?
trying to identify you because I can't see
You're
you.
trying to identify me? Bro, leave my camera alone. What are you doing?
Okay. Go ahead and sit up. Stay right there.
What are you doing?
Just hang tight. I gotta. What is this?
You
It
know
is a
what
fire. No, I do not.
You know it's a pepper ball. Stop it, man.
All right, I'm gonna
Stop
take
with
it
that
up.
bullshit. Stop with that bullshit.
All right, Jeremy, you're being arrested for carrying a concealed weapon.
Concealed? It was in plain view.
That's not plain view. That's concealed. That holster's
How the-
concealed.
What are you talking about? How the fuck are you? What are you talking about? It's in plain view. Florida's got you 9-7.
970.
What are you talking about? Give me a sergeant. Give me a lieutenant. Give me a lieutenant. It was in plain view. It's in plain view. How am I being arrested?
Call for a cage car. Okay. Go
Give
ahead.
me a lieutenant.
Go ahead and stand up, Jeremy.
Give me a lieutenant. Give me a lieutenant.
Go ahead.
Hold on.
Give me a
Hold on.
lieutenant.
Look at all of that shit on his chest. Remember that my understanding is that radio that he has does not work. It's there just for show. What is that on his left pocket right there? He has a badge that looks like it could be a fucking police badge.
Give me a lieutenant. Give me a lieutenant.
Jeremy, just be quiet.
No, give me a lieutenant. son.
Jeremy, just be quiet.
You can't. Come on, man.
I know it's Florida statute 790, not 970. But it's ingrained in his mind to say 970.
Give me a
Got him.
lieutenant.
Jeremy, be quiet.
Give me a lieutenant. This is bullshit.
Yeah, I know, Chuck. Right? Yeah, a lot of the iconography that Jeremy exhibits is lifted off of LAPD, but he also loves to incorporate some military shit because, of course, he does.
Have him call for a record for the bike.
Sit down.
Jeremy,
He wasn't talking.
sit down. No, I'm telling you to sit down. Go ahead and sit down. On the ground. On the ground until we get a cage car.
I want you falling back.
It's falling off over the side. Go ahead and sit on your butt. Take your legs out. I check.
Let's go on a pair of holsters.
You're not getting a lieutenant. You're going to be quiet. You're going to be quiet.
Why am I having to? Why is 970 not valid now? Why is Stephen Casey Miller email not valid now? Why is that not valid now?
I am gonna take Jeremy's side in one aspect, in that the firearm is in his holster. It's not concealed. That's open. That's open. Let's be real. That is not concealed. It is actually out in the open in a holster. So the cop there is completely wrong in that respect. The second thing I would say, and this is to you, Gray, in the chat. The problem is that, well, I don't know if problem is, you could say, okay, yeah, he turned off his body camera or what have you. The problem is that Florida in particular has one of the broadest records transparency laws in the country. Anybody, just about anybody, can get the body cam footage of the officer for just about any reason. And I'd like to think that the officer in question, considering that he knows who Jeremy is, considering I think I know who this particular officer is, the officer also knows that too, right? So I don't think that the fact that he turned off Jeremy's body cam is indicative of misconduct, because the officer has to know that this body camera footage is going to be subject to a records request.
I don't understand. We're not. It was in plain.
Jeremy, listen to me. Jeremy, listen to me.
You even told us that. You guys have told us over it's illegal.
Shutting the body camera off to make a phone call.
See, he just said shutting the body camera off to make a phone call, and now he turned it back on while still on the phone. I'd be curious to who he's talking to, but that'd be interesting to find out. And they forgot to turn the audio back on. Come on.
Listen, you're free to go. I don't have anything on you. You're free to go. So you can do what you can do what you need.
I need you to call.
You do have a license, right?
Take my phone off my bike right there.
Okay, no, but you're free to
Take
go.
my phone.
No.
Joe, hey, that's my. What is going on? I wasn't open carrying.
Sit down! Sit down and be quiet!
Where's your
Sit
lieutenant?
down!
Where's the lieutenant? Where's the lieutenant? Where is the lieutenant?
Yeah, maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe I spoke too soon. No, Ryan, no. The answer's no. Stop it. I'm not even sure why he's being pulled over, other than the officer making the stop, that if he knows who Jeremy is, but then he presumes that what he's carrying is a firearm and not a less lethal. I agree. That Vidler definitely has a vendetta against Jeremy, but he doesn't need to have a vendetta against him. Jeremy does enough bullshit that Vidler does not need to act a certain way to give Jeremy an ounce of a defense, saying, because Jeremy's ultimate defense in all this is that the local cops have it in for him for one reason or another. Vidler is not helping dispel that case, because but for his zealous insistence on getting after Jeremy would bury himself alone with his own body cam footage. And I agree. I also agree that ultimately, at the end of the day, Jeremy has no basis of having the fucking open carry less lethal pepper ball gun in the first at all. He's a fucking funeral escort. He's not security, and he sure as shit isn't a cop. But to Vidler's defense, he's saying, I don't know whether or not what you're carrying is a pepperball gun or is a less lethal or is an actual firearm. I don't know that. But setting aside Vidler's, prior knowledge of Jeremy, to the average citizen, they don't know that either. Because that pepperball gun, to me, at initial glance, that looks like a legit firearm. I could not tell from a certain distance that what Jeremy is carrying isn't a lethal firearm. So, in fairness to Vidler, he's making the same kind of assumption or assumption that an average citizen would make when confronting Jeremy or dealing with Jeremy. And so, and I would agree with you in the sense that I don't know. Oh, no, there's no doubt in my mind, Grey Knight, that Jeremy picked the pepperball gun because it looks like a real firearm. Because again, that's part of his persona. He wants to look like a cop. And having what looks like a real firearm will have people treating him as if he's an actual cop. So there's no doubt in my mind that's what it is. And you know what? Maybe that's what Vidler's angle is at the end of the day. Because we all know that most of the most of the law enforcement out there are sick of Jeremy's bullshit that he's been doing in that area. 1 second, I'll be right back.
Jeremy, I'm going to explain this to you right now, and I want you to listen up, and I want you to stop running your mouth.
Okay.
All right, you sound like a little child out here running your mouth.
it's
Okay,
not that
listen
you're
to me.
arresting me for
Jeremy,
something.
listen to me. I'm going to tell it to you.
Go ahead, Sergeant.
Okay? You're being arrested for carrying a concealed weapon. That's what you're being charged with. When we get off the roadside, I'm not going to argue with you here on the roadside. This isn't the place or time to argue with. Listen to me. It's not the time or place to argue with you. When we're done here, I'm going to take you back to the station, and then we'll talk about it. But I'm not going to argue with you up here on I-4.
Yeah, no. No.
Not the place. It's not the time.
But, Sergeant,
okay?
I'm not
So listen to me.
carrying.
You are. It's a
How?
concealed weapon.
It's in
I said when we get off this roadway, I will discuss it with you. But I'm not going to discuss it with you here. It's not. It's a bad place.
But it's in
So as
plain
soon as
view, and
as
you
soon
rode
as
up next
as
to
soon
it.
as the car gets here to put you in the car and the record gets here, we'll go talk.
Yeah, but
okay?
you-
All right.
you
That's it.
rode up-
Yeah, no. It was in his holster. How the fuck could that be concealed? Yeah, I'm not buying this. If the charge is concealed carry, that's an easy dismissal. Okay, Unclean Hand says the case was dismissed. That's not surprising to me.
Yep. All right. What you need? What I'm going to do is I'm going to put him in your car, and then we're probably going to go to our office for an interview.
Okay.
Okay. The motor office.
All right, I'll let my supervisor.
Okay. Do you have anything of value in the bike that needs to be taken?
No, Sergeant.
Okay. I got the keys.
You want your wallet to go with you?
Yeah, bring the wallet.
What's your hat? Sergeant, why am I being arrested for open carry?
Check.
Unless
That's locked.
I was unlocked.
Oh.
Hey, what's up? Oh, I forgot to. I'm sorry. I missed the earlier super chat by Great Big Rants. $5. I'm so puzzled as to why he's still alive. I think he's referring to Gavin. Yeah, I'm shocked that he hasn't been shot up by the police or the cartels at this point. Katrina Middleton for $5. Jeremy wants the police to tire of questioning whether he has a real gun. Then he'll carry a real gun. I mean, that's a bold strategy.
Jeremy, do you need your glass case or anything?
I would say this is a dumb charge because I don't know how having an open holstered firearm, whether it's less lethal or not, is considered a concealed weapon. So it's not shocking to me that the charges were dismissed.
Jeremy, I already spoke to you and I told you what was going to happen. I told you what was going to happen, and that's what's going to happen.
Even when we had the meeting at the sheriff's office, they said as long as it was in plain view, it wasn't illegal. So if it's in plain view, then how is it illegal to death?
Transport, make sure it's running. Yeah, no, he's probably...
I'm going to leave this in your bike because you're not going to be able to take this to the jail.
That's fine.
Okay.
Sergeant, I'm asking, how is it less, how is it illegal for me to look at Jeremy?
Hey, Jeremy.
Yeah. Leave the keys, right?
Yes, I know Jeremy DeWitt filed an internal investigation complaints against Vidler and his interrogator, Corporal John Ramsey. The problem is that I have is, Kit, I couldn't tell you about the asp that he carries. If he even as a convicted felon is able to carry a less lethal like pepper spray, then he can carry that. The thing is, when it comes to impersonating a police officer, it's about the totality of the circumstances. It's not just carrying a pepper spray. It's not just carrying a pepper ball gun. It's everything else: the uniform, the bike, everything that goes into that goes into the idea of him impersonating. So the issue that we're having also, I don't know whether, I honestly couldn't tell you, Monte, whether or not a pepper ball gun can actually be converted into a firearm. I honestly doubt that. If I'm wrong, I can be corrected. But ultimately that's very theoretical. And the issue with Sergeant Vidler here is that he is being very overzealous in trying to get after DeWitt. I get it. I am not going to sit here and pretend that Jeremy DeWitt isn't a complete piece of shit asshole who should probably spend at least 20 years in prison for all the bullshit that he's been doing. But that shouldn't excuse Vidler for being overzealous in trying to trump up something against DeWitt, or be sloppy and put a charge on DeWitt that's not going to stick.
Got those keys? Do you want these keys in the bag? You want them to go with you? Okay.
Here's the thing, Rebel. I am not chiding Vidler for pulling his gun on Jeremy at the point of the stop. Because again, he looks like he's carrying a firearm, a legit firearm, regardless of whether Vidler knows that it's a pepper ball or not. Jeremy looks at that moment like he's carrying an actual firearm, and he not only stopped, but got off his bike. That, to me, I would say that Vidler is justified in at least pulling his gun out and telling him to, stop what he's doing. From there on, once he looks further, but even then, the charge of a concealed weapon when it's in open view on his holster is painfully, it's just, no. How else is, that's my point is what is unconcealed? How is there not going to be a concealed weapons charge if open and plain view in a holster is considered concealed, right?
All right, we're ready.
He's talking to Corporal real quick. We'll come in and start. Please, wallet.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate it. Here's the thing, too. My camera's going. When you get him in the car, do not discuss anything with him. Don't talk to him. He's going to be running his mouth all the way. Just ignore it, okay?
Gary, I would say you may have an argument there that he could pull him over to confirm whether or not the firearm is less lethal. I can see that. I can see a justification for that. But ultimately, the issue here is the actual charge that he's putting on him.
How is that concealed? Sergeant, how is that concealed?
Okay, Jeremy, we're going to go ahead and stand up and go back to the car. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
So, Sergeant, how is it concealed if I wasn't wearing a jacket and you rode up next to me and you clearly saw it? How is it concealed? Can you answer that?
So in that regard, I actually would agree with you, Gary, that as long as Jeremy is open carrying what looks to be a lethal firearm on his belt, the cops who know who Jeremy is and know that he's a convicted felon can stop him anytime they want to confirm whether or not the firearm is less lethal.
Sergeant, I'm asking you, how is it concealed? If it was in plain view, how is it concealed?
I'm gonna search the right one. Okay. Stay right here. Put your leg down.
You're destroying my business by doing what you're doing, and I didn't do anything illegal today. I'm not wearing anything over my belt. I'm not hiding anything. You rode up next to me, and you clearly saw it on my hip. So how is that carrying a concealed weapon? It's not even a weapon. It's for less lethal purposes, self-defense purposes. How is that illegal? Sergeant, I'm asking you a question. You have enough cars here to protect us from the accident. So explain that to me. If you have enough cars here to protect...
Oh my god. Oh my god. Guys, I think I might actually be on Team Jeremy DeWitt. Solely for the fact that Orange County Sheriff's vehicles, they're using Comic Sans on their vehicles. Who does that? That's Comic Sans!
So explain that to me. If it's in plain view, when exactly was it concealed? If it's on my belt, your weapon's on your belt, is that concealed? Sergeant, Officer Alexander, your weapon's on your belt, is it concealed? Can you clearly see that? Those are...
SMH, y'all, SMH.
I'm a little confused. Sergeant, there's nothing else.
Welcome to the resistance.
You want to take the gloves off, Jimmy? Sergeant, can you tell me, can you answer that for me, please? If I'm wearing my weapon in plain view, how is it
Hobbit, I believe his next court date is sometime this month.
Sergeant Middleton.
Jeremy, I already explained it to you. I'm not going to discuss it here.
You didn't explain it to me. You're charging me for a concealed weapon.
Okay, but what did I tell you? We'll discuss this back at the station. I'm not going to discuss it out here with you. Just go ahead and get in there, Jeremy.
This close and I'll double lock.
Check the pocket.
You're towing my bike and you're putting me into custody for a concealed weapon when it was in plain view. And it wasn't a weapon, it's a self-defense pepper ball. So how is that illegal?
It's there, ironically.
Sergeant? Stephen K.
Sergeant?
even emailed you saying that they weren't illegal. And you're
Look at this atrocity.
wrong, and your lawyers at your sheriff's office said it wasn't illegal. It's the Velcro. Okay, yeah, I got you. Sergeant, even your own attorney, your own attorney at the sheriff's office sent you an email saying that it's not illegal for us to carry our pepper balls in plain view.
Okay. All right, go ahead and get in.
Jimmy, sit down. Sit down, put your butt all the way to there. Put your back against that wall.
All right, we're gonna skip the transport ride because mostly that involves just Jeremy talking out of his ass. So I'm gonna go to where he's at the station and see if there's anything here. 1980 system strike through for the sheriff logo.
Open carry or concealed carry a misdemeanor? Right?
I have no idea.
Brother, how long you been on the road? Come on, man. You don't have to be disrespectful about it.
No, sir, I just don't answer questions.
No, I agree ultimately with the Grey Knight's assessment that the stop is fair. The charge, I honestly think, is bullshit unless they're concealed carry. I mean, even calling it concealed carry is bullshit anyway. But even if assuming that open carry is unlawful without a CCW, I doubt a less lethal needs a CCW in Florida. I could be wrong, but we'll go from there. But again, it's why is concealed carry? It's not concealed carry.
Put it back on when we go outside.
Yeah, I put the sunglasses right in front of you.
That's what I need, because my eyes are very, they hurt in the sunlight.
A. Stanley, Comic Sans is a font forged from the fires of hell.
So as long as we put them back on, we're good. Thanks.
Open carry is prohibited, only concealed with a permit. That's okay. That's what's in Florida. I don't know. I don't know what Florida's carry laws are. Dead air. Dead air. Oh my god. Oh, it makes a statement?
Thank you, ma'am. How's it going, sir?
Good, how are you?
Good. We'll talk outside.
He's gonna give you a ride wherever you wanna go.
Wherever you want to go. Do you need a ride? Where can I take you?
Isn't it amazing how fucking nice you guys are when you screw up? Thank you, let's go. Come on. I need my uniform and my equipment back.
What'd they say about all that?
I don't know yet.
Okay. Where can I take you?
I honestly don't know. Are you guys the news? We are. Hey, let's go ahead and start then, buddy. You're just gonna give me a ride somewhere.
Yeah, I'll give you a ride. I'll stand back while you talk to me.
You want to give me a few seconds?
Absolutely. You're not being detained. How's it going, sir?
How you doing?
I'm all right.
Who are you guys with? Channel 2, Jeremy. Okay. Where's Mr. Fox at?
He's going to me. Get back home.
Do me a favor, I look like shit today because they took my gear and my uniform and I have no clothes on, so please try to make me look a little better. No, I didn't bond out. The sheriff's office dropped the charges along with the judge ordering the charges to be dismissed. And that was because the judge ordering the charges to be dismissed.
So at that point, by the next day, the charges were dismissed.
That was because the arrest was unlawful and unwarranted. Also, when the officer was arresting me, when he dragged me down I-4 by my helmet, while my neck was being held by my helmet strap, he dragged me the 2 or 3 feet down the street before he took his gun out of my face for something I didn't do or no crime that I committed. Then I was taken to jail until the judge this morning ordered me to be released.
What was the
I'm sorry, I can't. You can barely. I know you can barely hear it, but basically, Jeremy's saying that the judge ordered the charges dismissed, and that's why he's being released the next day.
Dan Walker, one of the best lawyers in Orlando, he handled that all, took care of everything with the judge, and the case was dismissed or dropped. And you felt like it should have been that way from the start. I should have never been arrested. My motorcycle should have never been towed. I shouldn't be aimed at by gunpoint and told to lay down on the busy I-4 during rush hour traffic. And I definitely shouldn't be dragged down the road by my helmet while he's trying to yank my helmet off, especially by the same sergeant that has multiply charged me multiple times for things that are not valid. But we'll get to that when COVID clears up. What do you mean by that? Well, Sergeant Biddler has charged me multiple times for impersonating a law enforcement officer, as you would know. And all the videos that haven't been edited by a company that those videos were given by the police department, because those videos weren't received by that company that's on YouTube or this and that. That company received those videos illegally for proper public relations.
Okay, now, okay, all right. Here's what I'm gonna say, and I'll tell you what he just said because I know the audio is very low. This was a self-owned by the police. This was a complete self-owned by the police because they really fucked up here. Vidler got too fucking haughty. He got too fucking aggressive and put some shit on Jeremy that didn't need to happen because, again, he still has multiple open charges pending against him. This was a complete self-owned by the police to do this shit. With all of that being said, he is now bullshitting by trying to claim that the footage that's on Real World Police was given to them illegally by the police department, was edited of some kind. When you, me, and everybody else knows the footage is raw. All the footage is there. The Real World Police has some edited stuff, but they also post raw footage without cuts of any kind, showcasing what Jeremy does on his escorts. So let's be real here that he's trying to save face a lot here. But at the end of the day, this was a self-owned by the police that didn't need to happen. Hey Stanley, thank you very much for the $10 super chat sticker.
And because of that, my wife has received, my family, my whole family has received death threats. We've received package bombs in the mail. We've received all kinds of death threats in the mail.
Okay, he says he claims he got death threats in the mail? Okay.
Yet, never once have I actually been convicted of anything that they're saying. And in fact, the deputy that arrested me yesterday is the deputy that's been...
You've been convicted multiple times previously for impersonating a police officer. Shut the fuck up.
Instrumenting this whole case against me for the last 2 years. Other than the fact he dragged me down I-4 while at gunpoint until he took his gun out of my face. We'll have to figure that out with the sheriff's office wants to do because I'm a very reasonable person even though I have a gun in my face.
Hey, Jeremy, can I ask you one question?
Sure.
As the owner of the company, maybe it's time just to sit behind the desk and have other people do the escort duties?
You know, the problem with that is every time I send my guys out, the same deputy then harasses those guys as well. So, unfortunately, I can't take the chance. I'm one of those people that believe that I need to lead by example, not let people go out and run things, especially when they're out on the street and they're getting pulled over and harassed by the same deputy, receiving tickets by the same deputy. So it's interesting to me that you would make that statement because one of my employees that did work for me that now is flipping state evidence, Sergeant Biddler got him a job over.
He just said flipping state's evidence. Are you suggesting that you're running a criminal enterprise, Jeremy? You know, the phrase turning state's evidence is kind of a mob thing, you know.
PCI security, so he would turn state's evidence against me.
See?
Stop working for me, which is kind of funny because that violates all kinds of state rules and laws that you can't offer somebody something to then have to testify against an individual.
He's a fucking rat.
But that's their number one state lead witness. So, but he's got a job at PCI Security because Sergeant Middle got him that job. So, unfortunately, I can't just send my guys out by themselves on a regular. I have to be there to make sure they're doing a good job.
Call me Fitz with a $10 super chat. Oh, how I wish jump scares were a thing still. Okay, finally decided to chip in. Buy VR Artie, and I'll show you around the Onward battlefield. I mean, VR is interesting. I think a lot of the new stuff is kind of cool. I might actually be tempted to get it eventually. We'll see what happens. But again, jump scares for non-super chats is still live if you guys really want to scare the shit out of me on this channel. The reason I turned it off was in part because the super chats were having an issue with Streamlabs, but the $10 jump scares are turned off only for super chats, not for other forms of tipping.
And also I have to make sure that they're safe, not only from the traffic that we have to deal with on a regular basis in this. Orlando's a beautiful city, as you all know. Orlando's great. But as you all know, traffic is horrible in Orlando, especially I-4. And doing funerals, they have the right of way. You're required to yield the right of way, just like if they had lights on like an ambulance or a police car. You're required to yield the right of way per the law. The only people that don't are police and fire. So I have to go out and make sure that my guys are not only safe on escorts, but they're also safe from the traffic, but then they're also safe from the police. So the people that are here to protect us, and don't misunderstand me, please. Not all deputies and not Orlando and a lot of Orlando police and FHP.
All right, I'm not gonna give this guy any more of a platform to try and win brownie points with the media. But ultimately, this was a self-owned by the police because it was a bullshit charge. It wasn't a bullshit stop. Let me be clear about that. The stop itself was legitimate because, again, Jeremy has to know that he's going to be stopped for what's on his holster every time he goes out because it looks like a real firearm. But it was a trumped-up charge that was dismissed before, within 24 hours. So this was a self-owned egg on the face by the cops, and Vidler needs to be reined in by the sheriff's officers until Jeremy can face what he needs to face later on this month at his hearings. That's all I'm going to say with this video that was just uploaded about, half an hour ago. Oh, Rogue Nation, were you arrested? God damn.
Power does what it wants. Power does what it wants. Power.
God damn it!
Does what it wants.
God damn it, Wazoo. Wazoo, thank you for the $10 tip and scaring the shit out of me, confirming that the jump scares work for that.
I'm sorry, what's that now?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Hey.
Sergeant Bagwell Browser.
All right. You got your body cam on?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Looks like
So
you
what's
do
going
too.
on today, man? Why are you aggravating people?
I'm not aggravating anybody. I came in here to take a look around the post office, do a little inspection of it.
What you
Like to
inspecting?
get, huh?
What are you
The
inspecting?
facility, just checking it out.
For specific purpose?
Well, I've got a purpose, but you can't really divulge all your information all at one time when you're working on a story.
Drink.
Trying to put pieces together.
They're trespassing you from the property, so I do need to see your ID.
Well, I can't be trespassing unless I've committed a crime. Is that right?
Wrong! Wrong, you asshole! Wrong!
Also, I need to be...
No, they have the right to
get a
trespass you from the
trespass
property.
warning first,
That's
so
what we're
then you
gonna-
can just escort me off the property,
That's
and
what
that's
we're going
about
to give you,
it.
but we have to have your ID to do so.
No, you actually don't have to have my ID. You can just give me a warning, and I can walk away, and that's all as far.
Then it's not an official trespass warning, now is it?
It goes.
No, sir.
But again,
That's not the way we do it here in Brownsville.
well, let's not worry about how we.
Where?
No, sir.
But
That's
again,
not the way we do it here in Brownsville.
well,
I can't tell where he said he's from.
let's not worry about how we do it in Brazelton. Let's worry about how we do it, in the rest of the country.
Where the fuck is Brazelton?
But before we're even getting to that point right there, let's
Hello, Lynette.
back around to the fact of what's trying to lead you to that. You're trying to trespass me from public property
That somebody
that's
has a
open to
right-
the public. They have no right to ask me to leave.
They do.
They do not. Not unless I've committed a crime.
No, they can. They can. We've already been through this. The post office and similar forums have the rights, the same rights to ask you to leave if you're not there for a legitimate purpose, or you're causing disruption, or some kind of way, or even any other reason that they deem fit. They can act as though that they are a private business owner. The fact that it's public does not mean that they can't tell somebody who's being obnoxious and irritant to not leave the party.
Are you a sergeant? You're not a sergeant, are you? There you go.
But I think that three chevrons means that they're a sergeant.
Can you get crime? Are you a sergeant? You're not a sergeant, are you? There you go. Can you get somebody else who's over you or even under you? Maybe one of your subordinates knows it better than you.
No.
I think they might. But they can't ask me to leave public
Brazelton, Georgia
property if I'm here to conduct my business.
What business?
That would be denying me service.
What's your business?
I'm working on a story that I'm trying to put together. I need to get some footage of the inside of post office and how everything's operated in there.
Okay.
And trying to get the footage I need. You do some walk through, you get what you need, you stand back, you get some what's called B-roll. You get some of that stuff taken care of. And then also I do actually want to, make a purchase here too. Is why while I'm here also to help support the post office. They've been struggling.
Well, it doesn't look like you're supporting. It looks like you're aggravating them.
I'm not aggravating anybody. Y'all are aggravating me now. I could have already got what I needed, made my purchase.
I know. They don't.
Left.
Well, not true. We got called here because you were aggravating people and you was getting agitated apparently.
So aggravating, what charge is that going to be?
Well, right now it's criminal trespass if you don't give us your ID so we can
Well,
trespass
so to trespass me, you got to have
your ID so we can fill out a form.
to trespass me. You got to have a crime committed on the public property.
It's not true.
I seriously do not understand where they're getting his idea. Where the crime is the trespass in and of itself. I do not understand where they're getting this idea that a crime has to be committed in order to be trespassed. In order for a In other words, the commission of a crime is not an element of trespass. Burglary. If you the common law definition of burglary is the unlawful breaking and entering of the dwelling house of another at nighttime with the intent to commit a felony therein. The intent to commit a felony therein is an element of the common law of burglary. Trespass is the act of being there without permission. That's it. That's all the elements are.
It is true.
If you come on my private property and I tell you...
there you go. That's different.
It is not different.
Your private property.
Okay, who owns this?
The government owns
Okay,
this.
they have the right to tell you to leave.
They are not the government.
She is
The First Amendment
It's a limited public forum.
gives me the right to be here, standing here, doing what I'm doing today.
And she runs the property and she has the right to tell you to leave.
Coquinda versus US, you assholes.
I haven't bothered any customers.
Well, that is not true. Otherwise,
I've helped people. In fact, I've opened doors for people as they walked in. I stepped out of line because they got busy.
Hey, start running tags.
Hello, Ragical. Yeah.
In the parking lot, his face is going to pop up on one of them.
You think so? All right. So I was even opening doors for people. I wasn't finished conducting my business yet.
You know
They
what
started
car he
getting
drove in?
busy.
You know what car he drove up in?
I actually started stepping out of line and letting people get in who had a lot of packages, a lot of stuff to take care of. I'm here collecting information on this post office because if you look on the Google reviews, they got a very low score here, which is unusual because they have a simple job of just taking in packages and sending stuff out. But they have a very low score and a whole lot of stuff that talks about how people get packages missing from up here. I'm trying to see if there's anything that could be a link to that.
And why is that your job?
Why is it my job? It's not my job to make sure that they're not losing packages, but if I have information that could be useful to somebody else, then they could take care of it. Yeah. But either way, it doesn't really matter what I'm here doing because I don't really have to explain to you everything that I'm here doing. I'm here to conduct business. I have two forms of business I'm conducting. I'm taking a survey of the building, and I'm wanting to buy a stamp while I'm here.
A stamp?
Yeah.
Buying a stamp, which is another First Amendment auditor trope. Is there like a playbook out there? Is there like a written playbook for First Amendment auditors that when you go to a post office, go in there to buy a single stamp and that gives you license to do whatever the fuck you want in the post office?
What about one stamp?
One stamp. That's all I need.
Where do you live at?
I live close enough to where I can get here in a reasonable amount of time.
So is there not a post office where you live at?
There's post office everywhere. What does it matter what post office I go to?
I mean, you usually go to the post office closest to where you live at.
I think maybe if I went to a post office someplace else,
I think you're just up here
I might have gotten better service.
I think you're just up here starting crap.
Think what you want to think, I guess.
Oh, that's right. You're one of those First Amendment auditors, and you're trying to get up here and you're trying to start crap, and it ain't gonna happen.
Got him! Got him!
So you're gonna deny me from having service at this place? So where's she wouldn't even give me her name. She wouldn't even talk to me. I don't even know who she is.
Give me your name.
As far as I know, about her working at the post office, the only she got is a lanyard that you can buy online from anybody.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. So I don't even know who the hell she is.
Just like you could probably buy a lanyard and a press badge on fucking Amazon for like $2, right? And then you could tell yourself that you're a member of the press.
How do I know she works at the post office?
Well, I'm telling you she does because I've seen her here before.
Okay.
She works behind the counter.
Good for you. I don't know that though.
I'm telling you she does.
All right. But either way, have you looked at the poster 7 that's on the wall in there?
Oh my fucking god. Poster 7, drink.
No.
Okay, come on, let's go take a look at poster 7.
No, we're not going back inside. She said you're not welcome in there, so you're not welcome.
Well, we can go back in there together.
We're not going back in there.
And we can look at the poster 7 that actually gives you the right to film inside of the post office and the surrounding the government properties. You know, we're not too far from Cumming, Georgia. Have you heard of Cumming, Georgia?
I know we're coming.
Oh my fucking god. Cummings versus Smith versus Cummings. Drink.
All right. So do you know about the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals, the case Smith versus Cumming?
I'm not familiar with that one.
Okay. So Smith versus Cumming gives citizens the explicit right to film public servants, yourself, federal employees, wherever the hell she went to now.
In public.
In public.
We're in public right now.
We're in public.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're in public right now. Inside the post office, not so much. Limited public forum.
We're in public.
Okay.
What about inside of a building?
It's still public. That's a public building.
Okay.
The post, what do you call that? The post office box area is definitely open to public. Hell, the door never locks. I don't think you can go in there anytime you
McDonald's
want.
is open to public.
It's a privately owned business, though.
Okay. And is the post office not technically privately owned?
No.
It's owned by somebody.
It's owned by the federal government.
It's owned by somebody.
Right? It's owned by the federal government, right?
It's owned by somebody.
Yeah, it's owned by we.
Well, you don't pay taxes here, do you?
Yeah, it's owned by
Well, you don't pay taxes here, do you?
You don't pay taxes here, do you, motherfucker?
Doesn't matter where I pay taxes. to the federal funds that get dispersed out everywhere else, right?
If you say
So as long as I'm a U.S. citizen, if I was a foreign
if you're a
citizen,
citizen.
if I was a foreign citizen and I came into this country, right, and I bought a candy bar, I have every right to come in here and do the same thing.
To film and aggravate people.
I'm not aggravating anybody. You're aggravating me.
That's not what they said.
They can say whatever the heck they want to say.
Okay, the fact that this is being uploaded by a First Amendment auditor, Rogue Nation, shout out to you, buddy, that I debated several months ago. Again, shout out to you, Rogue Nation. The fact that Rogue Nation's uploading this and claiming this as an argument in his favor is amazing to me.
They could say I was in there dancing on the tables.
Well,
but of course, we know that I wasn't.
Well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to bar you from the property. If you feel like you need to get an attorney to fight the barring notice, then do what you need to do.
So you're going to trespass me from public property when I haven't committed a crime.
Look, they have the right to keep you off the property.
Oh yeah, he thinks this. So far, everything that he does is in his favor.
I was to be charged with any sort of crime. What crime would you have charged me with today?
Trespass if you didn't leave.
What would it be?
Disorderly conduct.
How so? I haven't been disorderly.
He's been in there acting disorderly.
I barely spoke to anybody.
Well,
right?
Was you asked to leave?
How is opening the door for people as they're coming in and out with big boxes? Is that disorderly?
I don't know.
That's chivalry, isn't it?
No, I wasn't here. I don't know.
Stepping out of line so that some elderly lady and her, I guess, son or whoever it was.
Causing no disturbance.
Yeah.
If stepping out of line so that people with a large amount of packages can get their business taken care of, since I'm not necessarily in a hurry,
Like I said,
is that disorderly?
I'm doing my part of my duty.
You're not doing it very well, I got to tell you that.
And acting on what she wants done, okay? Right now, she wants us to serve you one of these criminal trespass notices, which we're going to do.
Well, you don't need to do that. I could just walk away because
well, we're going to do that.
I haven't committed a crime yet. I haven't been warned to leave the property yet.
Charlotte, North Carolina, showing place status
It doesn't have to be. She don't want you to come back.
Property yet.
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Committed a crime yet. I haven't been warned to leave the property yet.
Charlotte, North Carolina, showing place status
It doesn't have to be. She don't want you to come back. We're going to serve you with this.
All right, I'll be right back. I apologize. I'll be right back. I'm being mean to the kitty. Say hi. Archer, say hi. Archer. Okay.
Yeah.
If you need
You're
to get an attorney, if you need to do whatever you need to do. That's between you and him. Okay.
You guys have gotten some bad reports from people lately. Over the past several years. Yes, you have. You've gotten several bad reports that you guys do this kind of stuff to people.
Right now, we're going to focus on this criminal trespass warning. So, what's your name?
You can just put the location on there. You don't need to put anything else on there.
You do need to put something else.
Nah. I haven't committed a crime yet.
Listen to me. Sir.
What's your name? You ain't got no name tag on, do you? Did you rent that vest? Is that a loaner vest, a rental vest? You don't even have a name on you.
1 second. They've asked us to serve you with criminal trespass. We have to write your name on this paper. That's cordially what I'm asking you to do is for your ID. So I can serve you with criminal trespass warrant.
You're asking me?
Yes.
I'm
giving you a lawful
I'm
order
out there, so dry.
to provide me with your ID or name for this. Now, right now, you're obstructing my investigation and my duty.
I'm not instructing anything.
I'm going to ask you one more time, or I'm going to place you under arrest for obstruction.
So you're going to arrest me when there's no crime been committed yet?
You're failing to ID yourself to me, which is required by law. When I ask you for ID.
If I committed a crime, what crime is I committed, though?
You're not getting it.
Sovereign citizens, man. They don't think.
He called him a sovereign citizen, too. He called him a sovereign citizen. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Gray. He is being formally trespassed. In order to be formally trespassed, the police need to get his name and DOB, some level of identification, in order to give him that trespass warning. If he doesn't give that information, then it's obstruction. That's where it is.
They have to abide by the law.
You're not getting it.
Sovereign citizens, man. They don't think they have to abide by the law.
I'm not saying I'm a sovereign citizen. I'm here with the same rights as everybody else.
Call yourself, man.
I'm here trying to express my right.
They want to issue him a formal trespass, dude. It doesn't matter whether he wants to stay or remain or not. He's there. They want to issue a formal trespass. He needs to provide his information.
As everybody else is.
If I walk up to that gentleman right there and ask
I'm
him for his
trying to
ID,
express my duty to serve you with this criminal trespass. That's all it's got to be.
Well, you can put
ID yourself.
You can put Joe on there. You can put that on there. That's all you got to put on there.
Information.
Yeah, that's a false name.
How is that? You don't know my name yet, do you?
In itself.
Right?
That's because you're failing to give it to us.
If I told you my name was Bagwell, would you have thought that that's a false name? Probably so, right? If I tell you to put Joe on there, do you know if that's a false name or not? No, you don't know anything yet, do you?
That's why I would like to
Okay,
have
so
your
stop
identification.
accusing me of committing a crime when there hasn't been one committed. Stop standing there and trying to put me into a hole that hasn't been dug yet, okay?
So, this is what we're going to do. I do need you to put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest for failing to give us your information.
You know of any restaurant thing going on the interstate? We've got traffic backed up and people backing up on the rail.
Well, he's gone.
We have two wrecks that the Echo and Outlands person is now one wreck.
All things are doing this. All this could have been prevented. It could have been prevented if you would have read the post there.
Trailer portion was overturned and
They have a right to the United States. He would read the post there. They have a right to the They have a right to the United States. They do have a right to keep you off the property. They do have a right to deny me service. But that's you taking. They have a right to keep you off the property. I haven't committed. Once they've done that, until if they want you trespass, I don't concede. We have to.
You don't have to. It's search incident to an arrest.
So we can then fill that paperwork out, give you a copy, and then say bye. But you chose to go this route. I will give you my ID. It is too late. Right of arrest. It's too late.
No, you're arrested. You're under arrest. You're going to jail.
Well, the problem is that if he's refusing to give ID, then they can arrest him, take him to the station, and then ID him there. If he had provided his ID, he wouldn't be arrested right now.
Under arrest right now.
You guys
By the way, thank you guys so much. I have almost 350 people watching me right now, which is, I think, is a record. Thank you guys so much for being here with me. I'm going to do this only once. Please hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. All your support is much appreciated. Thank you guys. So that was Rogue Nation trying to make a claim like there was some sort of unlawful arrest, when it seemed to me that the police had legitimacy in putting him in handcuffs because he refused to ID before issuing it a formal trespass. So, oh well. Oh my god. Wait, wait, Breaking the Flaw reposted this shit? I mean, I'll indulge.
Can I have a freedom of information request form?
Okay, what's going on, fellas?
Don't touch me.
Oh, give my phone.
You can't.
I agree that Motor One needs to be arrested more often, but not for trumped up bullshit charges. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh my fucking god. Photographer is arrested for filming in Worcester. Ass. Okay. John Fukumoto for $4.99. The great work, Artie. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. Yes, we are still doing tomorrow's stream. I'm still doing tomorrow's stream. OPT lawyer is expected to join in because, and I asked him to join in because he is an attorney in Ohio and would have would be more well versed on the background of the story that I'm going to be talking about. So I have him coming in. Should be awesome. Guys, check it out. I promise you it's going to be interesting. Please check it out tomorrow at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, I would say this is a violation of the First Amendment. Please refrain from the use of cell phone while conducting business at the service window. I think everyone has the right to film their business. So can we have these removed? Yeah, can we have these removed? You want to take them off? I'd rather not do your job, but could you remove them?
So Joe's just letting the officer know that there's unconstitutional signs here.
Yeah, they can't request
use of cell phones. He's not in proper uniform, so I'm wondering if he's on duty. I don't think the whistle.
Well, Richard, for the record, I first discovered this from DGen. This was actually, DGen's video on this interaction was what made me subscribe to DGen and what made me realize DGen. So shout out to you, man.
Hurley? Was it Hurley shirt?
Yeah, it's a which I don't know if it's no way I don't get it wrong, but I don't think that's department issued. I mean, it could be. I know the low on budget. Oh, no. Oh, no. Just right away, catching all. They're watching a football game. But this is the service division. Maybe this isn't where they answer 911 calls.
Maybe it isn't.
Maybe it isn't, yeah. So I don't want to be, presumptuous. I could be wrong. At least my flag isn't.
This is the business we've chosen. So it's, you can probably use
Oh, look at that sign. Do not touch. Okay? Well, if it's their Fourth Amendment rights, they'll make sure that it's. I wonder if I had a sign on my car that said "Do not touch" and they were going to search.
You warned them. You warned them. Yes. If you put a sign on your car that says "Do not touch my vehicle," and they touch your vehicle, then they have violated your rights after warning.
Listen, if they pull you over.
Oh, fuck. You just hear what he just... Okay, do you just hear what he just fucking said?
Put a sign on your car that says "Do not touch my vehicle," and they touch your vehicle, then they have violated your rights after warning.
Listen, if they pull you.
So he says, oh, if I had a do not touch sign on my vehicle and they touched my sign, then they violated my Fourth Amendment rights after warning. That's the equivalent of Mr. North Platte having a private property no trespass sign on his fucking windshield covering his VIN number and claiming that the cops looking into his vehicle after that is a 1983 violation. Thank you, Causeless. Wait, Causeless, who are you referring to? Causeless, who are you referring to?
Ask Officer Freshway here. Hey, Chief. Hey, boss. Hey, pal.
You're sorry for us.
Yeah. I'm so sorry for being sex offender. You're sorry, Papers. I'm sorry. Alright, so I'm gonna need them to shut that down.
Here's another violation. All visitors must report to service window.
Okay, well, look, if Grey Knight isn't deleting your comments, then we're okay. But if Grey Knight is not deleting your comments and is just simply disagreeing with you, then I don't have an issue with it. My issue is whether or not Grey Knight is deleting your comments, not whether or not he's disagreeing with your point. The reason why I have Grey Knight as a mod and Archangel as a mod is because I respect opposing viewpoints. I don't want people who aren't being trolls or aren't being pricks, but simply disagreeing with me having their stuff deleted. That's not something I approve of. So that's why, Causeless. So long as Grey Knight isn't deleting your shit, I mean, he can disagree with you all he wants, you know? I don't agree with most of what Grey Knight says. I sure shit don't agree with what Archangel says, but I have them modded. As long as they're not doing deleting people's stuff, I'm not gonna say anything about it.
You might as well kind of go there. Actually, push that window up without question. Well, we already recorded too, sir. I want to speak to the policy officers that disappeared.
I know, turn that.
I don't see this one. No.
Is that a whip?
It's a whip. They can tell me. They got going on.
Baton.
Okay, Nada.
This is a wall sheet. This is the biggest poster.
Oh, wow. Those are all level 3.
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm sorry. Not Worcester Police Department. Right, Wazoo? Worcester.
Holy banana hammock. This is the biggest wall of shame I've ever seen. And guys, please enjoy the Worcester Police calendar. I'm just kidding.
Here, how about this? Here's a little fact for you about Worcester. The top 200 incomes in Worcester are police officers.
I believe it. Look at this win. Wait, do you win? Community impact. So I'd say go for a walk. We'll be back and check.
Hey, we'll be back.
Look, for the record, I went to law school in Rhode Island, so I was able to get an education on the pronunciation out in New England.
Oh, there we go. Is he in uniform or is that a wife beater he's got on? Is that a wife? Is that a wife beater? I think I see a wife beater. I'm talking about his t-shirt, guys. I'm not implying that he beats his wife. But if I had a stick that was called a dog killer because it kills dogs and I walked around with it, like, oh my god, dog killer. I might just think I'm a dog killer. Anyways. Let's find out if you... Well, I have a couple questions right now. If he's working, I don't know why he's not in my uniform. We'll find out. Hey, Saj.
Or are you just going to stare at us? What's that? I asked, I inquired for something.
Okay, what did you need?
She said she was going to remove these signs. I don't want to do it for her.
Who?
The clerk that was sitting right here.
She wants to remove a sign?
She said she was going to do it.
What sign are we talking about?
This sign right here, it says, please refrain from use of cell phone while conducting business at the service window.
Like the clerk? Are we talking the clerk of court?
I'm sorry, I
We're
can't.
not removing the sign.
Why? It's a violation of the First Amendment.
Okay. It's there and it's not going to be removed.
Well, it's against
Do
the
you have any other
Constitution.
issues, sir?
Did you swear an oath to the
Do you
Constitution?
have any other issues, sir?
This is a very big issue because it's the First Amendment to the Constitution.
Oh, over here too. Well, hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I have a question. That gentleman that was
Well, I was
just.
talking to the young lady.
Well, now I'm talking to you. So she's.
No, I was talking to the young
Are you
lady.
still talking to him?
I mean, I was talking to you.
Well, you can't multitask. You got a gun, but you can't handle more than one task.
Fuck you, Abrams.
To interrupt somebody when they're talking to somebody?
Well, I have a question for you. So, are you going to answer it? The guy behind the guy. No, you work for me. I don't work for you.
Is there something I could do for you?
Well, these signs are unconstitutional, so.
But a very nice young lady, by the way. You have a very nice friend.
So the guy that's behind the desk. No, now I'm talking to you because now you're gonna. No, she's all set.
Well, the thing is, the sign is.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you speaking for her, Abrams?
I don't. Well.
Okay, can I get a, sir, can I get a Freedom of Information request?
So you guys aren't able to remove the sign even though it's really unconstitutional?
Sir?
It's Saturday.
Can I
It's Saturday.
Online. They go online.
Oh, no, you have them right behind you. They're right there. They're right there. They're within reach.
No, she's done talking. I'm talking to you now.
I think she can speak for herself.
Well, I'm speaking for myself, but she's no longer speaking to. The officer that was back there at the clipboard, he's not in uniform.
Sir, you're being disorderly. You're being disorderly.
Is
You're
he
being
working
disorderly,
right-
sir.
Is he working right now?
Yeah, Wazoo, I wanted you to make sure I was pronouncing Worcester correctly, Wazoo.
You feel threatened by these two? I mean, they're so.
Are you inquiring,
I love the troll by the cop there.
What is that?
Actually, you're very rude. I was talking to you first,
Yeah,
sir.
no.
I was talking to you first. Can I have a Freedom of Information request form?
Okay, what's going on, fellas?
Don't push me.
But
Oh, give my phone.
You can't.
Give it my phone, people. I have friends who it's a public space. Public space. Let's go. Don't touch me. Outside. I want my phone. Get your ass out. You get my shirt. You get my phone. There's your phone, bro. Oh! I want your name and badge number right now. You ain't got shit for me, asshole. Do not touch me. See ya. Arrest him. Arrest him right now. Arrest him. I'm pressing charges. I'm pressing charges against him right now. He just
I want your
screamed at
name
me.
and badge
He
number.
grabbed me. He assaulted me for practicing a First Amendment right. Arrest him now.
arrest him now!
Arrest him. Name and badge number now. Name and badge number.
Well, now he is accused of
Name and badge number. Name and
Listen,
badge number.
You're either going to have to.
This is the worst experience I've ever had at the police department.
You're either going to have to calm down.
He threw my phone. He grabbed me. He ripped my shirt.
You're going to have to calm down. Or go to jail. Which would you like to do?
I want to speak to the supervisor. You're not walking in our building and pulling this bullshit. You don't treat the public like this. You don't treat the public like this. My department.
We're good.
You hear me?
What's your
Where's
name?
my phone? You want to
Department.
come down here and cause trouble? You'll get it.
All right, settle down, you fucking extra from from a Martin Scorsese film. Martin Scorsese. Oh my god, I can't even. I'm drunk. Martin Scorsese. Oh my. That guy's film, The Departed.
Don't touch me. Do not touch me.
Scorsese.
I did not. I was getting my phone out of my hand. Oh, shit.
Ah!
I was getting my phone out of my hand. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Ouch. Screw. Or you're going to jail.
It's like a goddamn velociraptor.
Please. Go with your friend. You gotta catch it. in here, they ain't having it.
Score say Z. There we go. He sounds like a fucking velociraptor. All right, we're gonna end it with one last video. Almost like a preview, but not preview. Okay, yeah, I apologize, Veer. Hold on. I'll have a link to this one. And I'll post that in the chat. The one we just saw was just simply a re-upload from Breaking the Flaw. This one. That
Freedom Information Request form.
That I'm sure you guys have seen all over the place. The other ones, and Rogue Nation. Rogue Nation's latest vid is another one we saw. But here's the last one we're gonna see, because he's an idiot. Or as a he is a she. As a preview to tomorrow. It's a sentencing hearing for a judge, but it's much shorter than what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. It's for a different judge, different circumstances. So, this is a New York judge. And she was originally charged and found guilty of a misdemeanor DWI.
Christmas.
Please rise. Towards
7 p.m. Eastern. 7 p.m. Eastern time zone tomorrow is my stream with OPT Lawyer.
back in session.
Back on the record, People versus Letitia.
You can very well lose your judgeship kit. Not always, but it's likely. I have never tried that, dude. You'll have to let me know about it.
Violation of probation matter. The matter scheduled today for possible disposition due to the fact that we don't have the probation officer here in front of us. And I know I've said this to you several times since we've met. You have the right to an attorney through all stages of these proceedings. You continue to represent yourself at the previous hearings and the dates we've had here. Is that your wish today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you understand that you have the right to an attorney, you're waiving that right?
No, Judge, I'm proceeding as my own
I
attorney.
understand that. Okay. And so can this matter be disposed of today? That was the last question that we had here on the record. You have a copy of the Declaration of Delinquency alleging 3 violations of your probation. Is it your position?
New York State. This is New York State.
For the sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Kwam, is that your understanding as well?
Yes, if she is willing to admit, then yes, that's up to her, but that's fine.
All right, Mrs. Stasio, you have several rights that you'd be waiving in exchange for admitting to the violations this morning. First of all, is you're waiving your also have the right to a hearing where the people.
Again, the original charge is misdemeanor DWI, and she is here on a violation of probation. That's what she's here for.
People have to prove that you violated the terms and conditions of your probation by providing.
I couldn't tell you where in New York, Brooke. I apologize.
Do you waive your right to a hearing?
I do.
Do you also waive your right to cross-examine the witnesses that the prosecutor would call to testify against you at the hearing?
I do.
Do you also waive your right to call your own witnesses in your defense at the hearing?
Yes.
And you waive your right to testify at the hearing, although no one could force you to testify?
Yes.
Are you making this admission knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently?
Yes.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you or promised you anything in exchange for your admission?
No.
Do you feel under any duress or coercion at the present time?
No.
Are you under the impression?
Scott said this is in Rochester. Gotcha.
No.
Do you recall being placed on probation by Judge Aronson?
Yes.
Did you receive a copy of the terms and conditions of the probation sentence?
At some point.
Okay, at some point.
Yes.
Okay, but you did. Is that correct?
Sorry, Scott.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
Okay. In fact, you did sign off on the conditions of probation.
Yes.
Okay. Did you understand the terms and conditions of probation?
Yes.
Do you admit that you failed to report as directed to probation on August 13th, 2019 and August 20th, 2019?
Yes.
And you admit that you didn't appear to probation for a few months thereafter?
Judge, with all due respect, I think that the one admission is sufficient for
months thereafter. You didn't appear to August 13th, 2000. That you failed to report as directed to probation on August 13th, 2019 and August 20th, 2019?
Yes.
So she failed to report to probation on those dates as required.
And you admit that you didn't appear to probation for a few months thereafter?
Judge, with all due respect, I think that the one admission is sufficient for the declaration of delinquency.
If you don't want to answer that, you don't have to.
I don't want to.
Okay, already we're getting a sense of her attitude here. Of the judge, I already admitted to violating probation. There's no need to continue this further. A sort of like nonchalant, dismissive attitude.
Do you admit that you failed to cooperate with the ignition interlock program as required by Section 1193, Subdivision C?
No. No, I don't admit that. I deny that.
You deny that?
I do, but I've already pled guilty, Judge.
Did you admit that you failed to abstain from using or possessing alcoholic beverages?
No, I don't.
Okay. Mr. Kwan, are you satisfied with just her admitting to paragraph 1? Or
Your Honor, I believe in order for the court to find a violation of the probation has occurred, she only needs to admit to the one violation. And if the court is satisfied, the court is in a position to sentence her accordingly. But in terms of whether or not she has adequately pled, the people are in the position of, yes, she has.
all right. The people are satisfied. I'll be satisfied as well with your admission that you didn't show up to probation beginning August 13th and August 20th, 2019. And therefore, I will find that you violated the terms and conditions of your probation, that you did so knowingly. Now, with regards to sentencing, do you wish to be heard?
Briefly, Your Honor, obviously, as a violation of probation, it is up to the court to sentence Ms. Estacio as she sees fit. However, it is the position of the people that, based on not only her violation of failing to report, but her violation of the conditional discharge that put her on probation in the first place, her inability to adhere to probation going forward from that, that it is the people's position that the only alternative left to the court is to sentence Ms. Estacio to a term of incarceration, and that would be the position of the people.
Now, I want you guys to pay attention and remember what he said there, that the people's recommendation for incarceration is not just predicated on the violation of probation, but also the violation of her prior disposition that led to her being put on probation in the first place. Pocket that. It'll be relevant pretty soon.
Mrs. Stasio?
Judge, honestly, I'm blindsided. I've spoken to Mr. Fromm about this several times, and his position has always been that the people take no position. In fact, in pretrial conferences, he's asserted that a time-served disposition would be appropriate in light of the fact that I've served approximately 4 months in jail on a misdemeanor DWI. So I'm surprised that he would make this statement on the record, on the news, for the first time ever. I think it's disingenuous at best. But Judge, I think that it's easy to lose sight of the facts in this case. This case, like a case that I've cited before, People v. Purpura, which is a county court case, which was appealed from the Monroe County District Attorney's Office when an individual who got probation was sentenced to 9 months in jail. Judge Chasho, county court here, said that that was inappropriate, and he conducts an entire analysis of why it's inappropriate. What he says is that no matter what happens in a criminal case, you always go back to the initial crime, the initial offense. In that case, as in this case, it was a misdemeanor DWI. You look at the defendant as you find them at the time of the arrest. In my case, I was a city court judge. I had never been arrested in my life. I had never been charged with any offenses. You sentence the person based on what actually occurred. In my case, I passed my field sobriety test, but after conviction, I again had no evidence of an accident. There were no injuries. There was no aggravating factors. It was a standard misdemeanor DWI, for which most individuals would receive fines and a surcharge. Irrespective of what happens from the point of sentencing, and this isn't my words.
Okay, briefly, I'm sorry. Based on what she said, okay, sounds reasonable, right? Misdemeanor DWI, and she's saying that in most instances, a misdemeanor DWI, you'd get fines, surcharges. Okay. All right. But again, wait.
Judge, this is Judge Chasho, who's a county court judge here. You always go back to that initial offense. This is still a misdemeanor DWI. This is a misdemeanor DWI that was alleged to have occurred in 2016, and we're going into 2020. I have served almost an entire year of a conditional discharge. I have served approximately 4 months in jail. I have served 2 years on probation. I'm not saying any of this to say, woe is me. You weren't the initial sentencing judge. I want you to be aware, if we're talking about penalties, of the penalties I've already sustained in this case. In addition, I was removed from the bench. Literally, the Court of Appeals held that career suicide was appropriate in my case, so I lost my entire career.
She lost her judgeship as a result of it. To answer your question, Kit.
I think if we're going to talk about penalties and justice and equity.
Wait for it, Deacon, wait for it.
This is an atypical sanction for a misdemeanor DWI conviction. In addition, one of the reasons that a person would be placed on probation, and this is again in the People v. Purpura decision, is substance abuse, which apparently has been the overarching concern here, that I have a problem with alcoholism. I've never been able to provide any proof to the court that I've completed an alcohol treatment program because I've never been ordered to attend one. I've obtained 3 to 5 OASIS certified evaluations, and none of them ever said I needed treatment. It is impossible for me to enter into a treatment program without a diagnosis. That's just not how insurance works. So I did voluntarily enter into one program that I completed, but that's all I could do. If I'm on probation to address a substance abuse issue, that certainly isn't occurring before this court because there's no proof that I have one. I got a mental health evaluation. There was no recommended treatment, but on my own, because candidly this was very stressful, I got into therapy. I provided information from my therapist to my probation officer voluntarily. My therapist said, you need this to be over. What you're seeing is suffering from situational depression. You cannot move on with your life because...
Really?
This will not end. I provided proof of that to the court. I provided proof of that to probation. I'm not here out of defiance. I am here because the judicial system does not function to break people, and it is destroying me. Irrespective of what I look like when I come into court, whether I'm smiling and happy, this is difficult every day. It is embarrassing, it is humiliating, and I cannot move forward. I cannot represent my clients because my mind is cloudy. I cannot come into court because I'm denied access regularly. I could not get here on time today because I have to stand in line. I cannot get a secure pass.
Because you're a defendant.
It is difficult for me to get into the jail to see clients that I need to visit. It is difficult for me to work, and probation is supposed to help me, not harm me. If your point was to penalize me, I'm telling you you have. If your point was to destroy me, I'm telling you you can't. Irrespective of whether you jail me for the rest of the term that is left here or not, I can't function this way. So I've done quite a bit of time here, more than I think any other individual ever convicted of a misdemeanor DWI has done. I think that I have lost quite a bit, but I've gained so much in the process. If the point was to teach me or to help me, I don't know that you did, but I can tell you through this process, I've grown so much as an individual. You don't know me, but you literally can see the difference in the person that I've been through this. And to continue to be stuck just because there is literally no benefit to keeping me on probation. In fact, I am the only probationer that my probation officer supervises. You want to talk about a waste of taxpayers' money? I'm his entire caseload. There's no benefit, Judge. You want me to serve the community? I do. I planned on going to a Thanksgiving dinner tonight. If you don't decide to incarcerate me, I'll be there. I'll be serving at Sabrina's this week. I do community service regularly because that's who I am as a person. If you'd like to sentence me to that, I could see a purpose there and I do it anyway. I think the appropriate disposition is time served, and People v. Purpura tends to support me.
What she wants, for those asking, is a time served disposition. Basically, she wants this to be done and over with.
I think that that's a binding decision. I think the court's bound by it. But aside from that, Judge, aside from legalities, and I think that the right thing to do here is to end this. And honestly, candidly, I would like you to do that with a time-served disposition. But no matter what you decide to do, I'm thankful that this will be over today. This has stopped my life. Judge, also, there was a motion that was filed. I know that the court ruled on it. Specifically, there was an ignition interlock device portion of that motion where I addressed the fact that I've been serving that sentence for in excess of 3 years, which I believe is illegal. Irrespective of the court's decision today, I would ask that you sign the order terminating the ignition interlock today as a part of your sentence. And I would just throw myself on the mercy of the court. Judge, thank you for letting me speak.
At this point, when I first heard this, I want to say this right now. At this point, when I first heard this, I was actually siding with her. Right? Misdemeanor DWI, no priors. She expressed relevant case law. She expressed, what she did in terms of going to treatment, in terms of going to seek help, in terms of everything that she did beforehand to express that she does not have an issue with alcoholism. She does not have an issue with driving drunk. She doesn't have a prior history. And prevailing case law says that, what she's already received is what people normally get when they have a misdemeanor DWI. So at this point, I'm actually siding with her when I first heard this.
I don't feel the need to respond in depth to her feelings. I do believe she misrepresented what I said about the court's options in our pretrial conference. But that's neither here nor there. I think what matters is that people who are on probation do not get to decide when their terms of probation end.
Remember that one too. What he said. People on probation do not get to decide when their terms of their probation end.
I'll leave it at that.
Thank you. So this case started with you being charged of driving while intoxicated and convicted after a trial for driving while intoxicated, which I consider a very serious offense. The facts surrounding your arrest that morning, very troublesome to me. But your actions after your conviction are even more troubling to me. You received the minimum sentence of a conditional discharge upon your conviction for driving while intoxicated.
She received the minimum of a conditional discharge.
You had a year period. Stay out of trouble.
Stay out of trouble.
Pay your fine and surcharge.
Pay your fine and surcharge.
Put a ignition interlock device on your car.
And put an ignition interlock device in your car.
And follow the restrictions of the device.
And follow the restrictions of the device.
And almost a month after your conviction, you already had a violation of a conditional discharge filed.
In less than a month, she said almost a month, so in less than a month, she already violated the conditions.
Within 2 months, you had 2 more filed against you.
Within 2 months, she had 2 more violations.
You settled it. You admitted to a violation. The judge extended your conditional discharge provisions to include an additional time period on your ignition interlock device. That was it.
So the judge, when she first violated those conditional conditions, he simply extended the already presented minimum sentence requirements. That's it. He extended it. That's it.
6 months later, you're back on another violation of conditional discharge.
6 months later, she's back again for a violation.
The judge places you on probation.
And at that point, her second violation is when she was put on probation. Second violation.
Shock portion, yes, you did serve some time.
And that was where she first spent some time in jail, 4 months.
Instead of revoking your probation, he gave you another chance. Placed you on probation. You're back again on a violation of your probation.
And now she's back again on a violation of her probation. Where we are now.
You've been given several chances before today, before appearing in front of me. What I have found is, and what shocks me, is that you've absolutely never taken any responsibility for your actions. You've never shown any remorse throughout this entire process. Shocking to me. What's also appalling to me is that you unilaterally decided to take yourself off probation without a court order. You just decided you didn't want to go anymore, so you stopped going.
She just basically, I'm not going to report to my probation officer. I don't give a fuck. I'm done. That's basically how the judge is treating it. Her failure to report to her probation officer is like, I don't give a fuck. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not gonna deal with it.
I'm not happy about it. I'm not going to tolerate it. Your actions show that you do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it. And it stops today, and it stops now. I'm revoking your probation, and I'm resentencing you to 180 days in jail.
6 months!
Starting now.
Thank you, Judge.
I will grant your relief with regards to the ignition interlock device. You no longer have to have it installed on your car. I will also sign an order to allow a family member to get it taken off of your car in a timely fashion.
Would that be today?
Statute you're going to hit.
For her, this... Okay. For her to say, can that be today? The silence from the judge right here is like the judge is like, bitch, are you for real to make requests like that? The silence, listen to the silence coming from the judge when she says this, when she asks this.
To get it taken off of your car in a timely fashion.
Would that be today?
Statute you're going to hit. You're going to have some time to think about what your actions were throughout this proceeding. it's quite possible you single-handedly changed the view of our community to the judicial justice system, or judicial system of justice. And it's appalling what you've done, and I hope you've learned your lesson. Case closed. Demetrius Hostas, is he here?
Sweatshirt. My cousin. Let me get you the camera.
Probably not. She ultimately buried herself by just basically saying, I don't want to deal with probation anymore. Because again, as I mentioned earlier, I was on her side up until the judge gave a detailed history of her infractions. She brings up that case, was like, oh, well, judge, in a misdemeanor DWI, normally they would only get X, Y, and Z. Well, the judge tells her, you did get X, Y, and Z. You did get a minimal sentence as a result of your misdemeanor DWI. You failed to adhere to the minimal conditions placed on you. That's what led you to get probation. And that's what led you to now get 180 days in jail because you would not follow the minimal requirements placed on you. So citing that case to me is a bunch of bullshit. Because you were given that minimal sentence. You couldn't even adhere to that. And that's what led you to getting 6 months in jail. Anyway. So, I'm going to end it right there. Like I said, guys, I will see you tomorrow with OPT lawyer. We're going to talk about Judge Tracy Hunter. I imagine many of you have seen the viral video of her getting dragged out of the courtroom. I've done a lot of research myself on that case, surrounding that sentencing hearing. I mean, it's right here. Like, it's right here at the top left. That we're going to be talking about what led to her being dragged out of a courtroom tomorrow. OPT lawyer is an attorney from Ohio. So he will be coming in to give us a little bit of a background. I imagine he knows more than I do about the internal politics that led up to this situation. And then we're going to go through what ultimately led to her sentencing and her being dragged out. Thank you guys again. Much appreciated. I can't believe I managed to hit almost 350 viewers. Thank you guys so much. Hit the like button to help the channel grow. Have a good night. If you guys care about video games and Fallout 4, I will be live streaming Fallout 4 in about 20 minutes. I'm going to eat something first. And on my other channel, Artrexis Lives. If not, it's all right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much. Adios. Take care. Good night. Take care.